Good morning. This is Melissa with A Creative Journey with Melissa, and today we're going to be creating a really cute Mother's Day card. I'm going to show you that in just a second, but first I wanted to show you what items you need to get out so that you can create this project. Again, all of these ideas that I have are just my design. You can always interchange something. Make sure that you use one stamp set or another stamp set or more stamp sets or less stamp sets, or if you really enjoy your handwriting, you could do that as well. I personally like using stamp sets because the stamp sets that we're using are actually my stamp sets. So let's get started here. You're going to need 3 different colors. I used orange, green, and red, and then you're going to use the black ink for the actual sentiment on the card. You're going to use this is called the Quick Stick or the Quicker Picker Upper. It's by Quick Cuts. You don't need to use this, but this is really helpful with the rhinestones. This is a pair of scissors. And you have your hole punch. This is 1/8 inch, so it's not the large and it's not the tiny, so it's right in the middle. This is a punch that we're going to use for the sentiment. This is some twine. Here is your stamp block for your stamp set here, which is the spring and summer holiday celebration stamp set. And this is the outside and in stamp set that we have here. And here is your card base, the piece of paper that you're going to punch out to put the sentiment on, which is going to say Happy Mother's Day right here. And this here is going to be underneath your sentiment, and we're going to do a little decoration on that. Here's your adhesive. Here is your square foam 3D square foam adhesive dots. I say dots. I can't help it. It's silly, isn't it? Anyway, so they're your for your adhesive to pop up your sentiment on your card. And here is your rhinestones. Okay. Now, I'm going to put this on the side. I'm going to show you what we've got going here. So what we have here is the card, and this is the card we're going to be making. Let me put these items on the side. And I don't know if you're like me, but I want to show you this real quick. I knew that I was going to be creating this card, so I kept this. This is just a little piece of paper. So it's a great way to utilize some of your scraps when you're making cards and things like that. Okay? But this is the card. And it says Happy Mother's Day. It's a bright, cheerful card. And I thought you'd enjoy it. And let's get started. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take the punch and the, orange paper. We're going to also need the stamp block, the sentiment that says Happy Mother's Day, and the ink. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to just quickly take off this Happy Mother's Day sentiment. Now these are made with photopolymer, and they're naturally sticky, so that's why they stick really easily to this acrylic block here. Okay, so I'm going to line up my sentiment right here, push it on. We're going to ink our stamp like so. You can do it this way, or you can lift it up this way, whichever you prefer. Both does about the same job. And then we're going to put this on the paper. Now typically I like to stamp my sentiment first, and the reason why I like to do that is because that way I can make sure that when I do my punch, the sentiment is exactly where I would like it to be. Otherwise, sometimes it ends up in the wrong place. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my sentiment, and I have my punch here. Now I can do it either way, and I'm actually going to do it this way because this is how I did on the design, so I'm going to try to stay true to that. And right here, I do it upside down because if you're doing this, you can't really see where you're putting it. Okay? And pop goes that. Oops. So we're going to set that aside. Next, we're going to take the white piece of paper that you have. This is what this is right here. And then you're going to need this set, which is the outside and in stamp set. You're still going to need your stamping block. And also, you're going to need the 3 colors. Okay, so let's put this aside here. So what I'm going to do is the same thing as before. I'm going to peel off a stamp. I used this one, and this one. So I'm going to try to stay consistent with the design I had before. And again, this is the outside and in stamp set. It's great because it's got sentiments on it as well as some little designs. These are great for masculine or feminine over here. But it's all totally up to you. It's great for congratulations on graduation or pregnancy or baby delivery, birthday. There's just a lot of great things, and sympathy, thinking of you if you just want to send somebody a card to let them know you're thinking about them. Okay, so let's get started here. So I've got the flower, which has little dots here, and that's the design. So we're going to take this green, we're going to stamp it right like this, and just do a various colors design. You don't have to do it exact, but you can get the point across. I typically like to do it in odd numbers, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll place another one right there. Okay. The reason why is I usually work in odds so that it doesn't look cut off, because a lot of times if you work in evens, you don't lay it out properly, and then it looks kind of lopsided. So that's the rule that I follow as design. And it's similar to, or it is actually the same rule as thirds when you're taking pictures and things like that. It's a fairly common design tool to use. So now we're going to use the orange, and we're going to stamp the little flower like this, right on here, fill it in where we like it. Okay, now normally if I was using a dye ink, I would not stamp on this area because it would stay. But since I'm not, I can just wipe this off. I know I should be using paper underneath or matte, but I didn't because it's easier for you guys to see this. Okay, so we have this, and if you notice right here, I did not stamp this part very well. I kind of got it lopsided. It got stuck on me there. So the good news is mistakes happen. That's pretty normal. So I'm going to end up putting my my stamp. Well, let's see. I'm going to put my stamp up here. So, like I said, sometimes mistakes happen, and that's okay. It's part of the design process, I say. Okay. And now we're going to use the little dot as a design element. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there you go. And we're going to use that to just add a little bit of color. So what I'll do is I'll add it right on top of that flower, just so it's not so obvious that there was a mistake. And somebody will think it's just part of the design. Of course, if they watch this video, they'll know that I made a mistake. But mistakes happen. I do them every day. And there you have the background. Now, one thing to notice is you can do this on a little piece of paper, but if you have them out, you could do them on a full 12 by 12 sheet of paper and keep that piece of paper on the side so you can make multiple cards and just have something ready, or you can do multiple punches or whatever you like. Okay? So now we're going to take the base of the card and we're going to take the adhesive. And we're going to put some adhesive on the back and place it on the card. like so. Okay. Now this is a different card. I didn't use the normal one that usually opens up like a book. I made it like this. Okay. And again, that's just a design choice. All right. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your hole punch. Again, this is a 1/8 inch hole punch. I'll show you a little bit close up so you can see. It's not too small and it's not too big. It's not the regular size hole punch and it's not the tiny, tiny one either. So, okay. And what you do is you keep the card folded and you're going to make a little hole just like this. And this is for the string. I use half the dot. Here, let me see if I can get a close up there. Like that. Okay, so now you can see what it looks like. And then I just take the top one here, just the top part of the card, not the bottom. Now the first part, like I said, is both, but the second part is just the bottom. And I try to line it up so that it matches the hole that's above. Doesn't have to be exact, but you try to kind of line it up. Okay. And then we're going to take our twine. So we take our twine, and again, as you know if you've seen our other videos, I like to do 3s. So we're going to wrap this around in 3s. You're going to feed it through the hole and wrap it around. Pull it almost to the end so that you have enough to tie it right here, okay? So that's that. And then you're going to feed it through the hole again. If I can get it done. It doesn't feel like cooperating this morning. Oh, there we go. Okay. There's one. And then I'm going to do it one more time. Okay. Feed it right through. Now the reason why I use the hole punch that I do is so that all of these will fit through. Otherwise you might have a hard time with the strings fitting through the whole thing here. Because as you can see, it takes up some space. And a big hole here would look a little bit too much, I think. So that's why I like using this one. Okay. So we're pulling it through. Now as you can see, it's kind of dangly. So we just put it right there, make sure it fits in there. And if you want to, you can line up the strings. And as you know probably from before videos, I like to do that. Okay, so what we have here is we already wrapped them around. Now, if you feel like you have not enough string, you can always, my little trick is to bend the card a little and then slide it like this. And you just pull up and then it'll go back down on the bottom. And then you'll have a little bit more space, or a little bit more string, okay? So, we're going to take this and like this and do a little bow. This time I'm going to do this kind of bow. Usually I use bunny ears, but when I did it this way on the other one, it worked out well, so I think I'm going to stick with that today. Of course I say that now and it probably won't. Okay, it looks okay. Now we need our scissors. Just cut off a little there, cut off a little there. Okay, so that's that. And make sure that's all lined up. And if you want, you can make it like I did in the card, tuck the string underneath. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you can do that way. Okay. And then try to make these line up a little bit. And we're all set. Okay, so we've got that part done. Okay, give you a little close-up so you can see that. All right. All right, now we're going to take our punch that we have here, or our punched out sentiment right here. I'm going to put our rhinestones on right now. I don't need the scissors, we'll put those away. We're going to take out our little quick stick and the rhinestones. And this has a little tool here, as you can see, and I use it just to pick up my rhinestones. So we're going to go like this, and put it, oh, I have a little fuzz on there. Okay. And put it like that. And like that. And like, oops, that. Okay. So I have that all set. Next we're going to take our adhesive squares and put one on the back here and one on the back here. And then take off the backing. And place it right on the card like that. And there you have your Mother's Day card. I hope you enjoyed this project today. I'll give you a little close-up. Don't forget to come back for our Mondays with Melissa. And I really love this card. It's really bright and cheery and perfect for a Mother's Day card. Hope you have a great day, and thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.